Have you ever wondered how civilizations, scattered across time and space, all ended up looking at the same stars? It's like watching a constellation form. One bright point appears, then another, until a pattern emerges. Today, we're leaving Mesopotamia and walking toward Egypt, following a slow drift of people, ideas, and ways of understanding the sky. The heavens stayed the same, but the societies beneath them changed, and with them, the very meaning of astronomy. Mesopotamia's brilliance was born from struggle. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers were generous, but terrifyingly unpredictable. Their floods could bring life or total destruction, shaping a worldview where the sky was a system of signs, a cosmic early warning system. For them, observing the moon, the sun, or the wandering stars wasn't just an intellectual hobby. It was a matter of survival. Astronomy in Mesopotamia grew from a desperate need to anticipate chaos. But the same fragility that sharpened their observational skills also made long-term stability difficult. Kingdoms rose and fell, cities shifted, and while their records were impressively preserved on clay tablets, the institutions that created them weren't always so lucky. And yet, when people move, knowledge moves with them. As political centers fractured, traders, scribes, and priests carried fragments of this celestial understanding across deserts and river valleys. These ideas traveled quietly, not like a flood, but like a slow, steady current. The rhythm of the moon, the significance of a star's first appearance at dawn, the habit of letting the heavens measure time, these concepts were on the move. But here's the crucial part. They didn't travel on clay tablets. Egypt didn't adopt cuneiform script or translate Mesopotamian symbols. It had its own language, its own sacred script, and its own powerful identity. In this era, knowledge moved through people, not just writing. It was carried in memory, not translated word for word. What Egypt inherited were not marks on clay, but patterns of thought, rhythms of observation, and new ways of listening to the sky. And Egypt itself was a completely different world. The Nile was not a chaotic force. Its annual flood arrived with remarkable consistency, almost as if it were following a divine clock. This profound stability shaped every aspect of Egyptian life and belief. Where Mesopotamians used the sky to anticipate danger, Egyptians used it to participate in order. For them, time wasn't a threat but a rhythm. Nature wasn't a force to be feared, but a cycle to be honored. In this gentler, more predictable environment, Egyptian astronomy began not in anxiety, but in harmony. This new astronomy grew in the hands of a trained elite. Priests observed the heavens as part of their sacred duty to maintain Mat, the cosmic balance that kept the entire universe steady and in order. Scribes recorded celestial cycles, managed calendars, and preserved this precious knowledge for generations. Architects and surveyors, guided by the stars, aligned temples and sacred monuments with a precision that still astonishes us today. Most ordinary Egyptians didn't observe the sky themselves, but their lives were completely shaped by those who did. Planting seasons, river navigation, religious festivals, and daily rituals, all of it depended on the rhythms the heavens offered. They studied the sky through careful, methodical observation. The rising of the star Sirius, which they called Sopdet, signaled the coming of the Nile's flood and marked the official start of the new year. The sun's path across the sky guided the perfect orientation of temples. The night was divided into sections using decans, groups of stars that rose in sequence to tell time in the darkness. They invented clever tools like shadow clocks and water clocks to measure the hours, and used simple sighting rods to align massive monuments with celestial events. Every single observation was both practical and sacred, a way of reading the universe and actively participating in its balance. At the very center of this cosmic relationship stood the pharaoh. He wasn't just a political ruler. He was the earthly anchor of the cosmos, the living embodiment of Maat. For millennia, humans had asked, Who keeps the heavens in order? Who ensures the sun will rise and the seasons will turn? The pharaoh provided the answer. Through astronomical rituals, solar alignments in temples, and celestial ceremonies, he presented himself as the guarantor of cosmic stability. His authority wasn't just political, it was cosmic. The rising sun, the returning stars, and the faithful Nile all became living proof of his divine power. Through astronomy, the pharaoh's divinity was written into the sky itself. And though it was practiced by a select few, astronomy touched every single Egyptian life. Farmers trusted the heavens to know the right moment to sow their seeds and reap their harvest. Builders followed celestial guidelines to shape the sacred landscape around them. Festivals marked celestial transitions, binding entire communities together in shared cycles of time. The sky connected the people to their gods, their land, and to one another. In Egypt, astronomy wasn't just written on papyrus. It was written in stone. Temples, pyramids, and obelisks were aligned so that at precise moments of the year, the sun would illuminate sacred inner chambers or cast meaningful shadows. You could say that Mesopotamia preserved the sky in clay, but Egypt built it into their architecture, their rituals, and their entire culture. The heavens became visible in stone, light, and ceremony. Egypt's incredible achievements didn't come from some sudden burst of intellectual complexity, but from continuity. Their stable society allowed knowledge to accumulate over centuries, carefully guarded in temples and passed down through generations of priests and scribes. Astronomy justified the pharaoh's divinity, sustained the agricultural powerhouse of the Nile Valley, structured society, and kept the world aligned with the cosmos. It was a science that lived in daily life, inseparable from religion, governance, and the human experience. But the story doesn't end here. Egypt inherited ideas that drifted from Mesopotamia, but it reshaped them to fit its own world of order and rhythm. In the chapters ahead, we'll see how another civilization, ancient Greece, will inherit from both of these great river cultures. And in a beautiful historical twist, Greek scholars will one day return to those ancient Mesopotamian records, rediscovering and transforming the knowledge that had been preserved in clay for thousands of years. But for now, our journey remains here on the banks of the Nile, where the cosmos shines through stone, water, and the eternal rhythm of the flood. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next chapter. See you next time.